Welcome to Glisten's Culinary Delights. I just got back from Seattle and I had an amazing time. So today I'm going to show you how that trip went and also a little bit about Pikes Marketplace because that's where I sourced my ingredients for my video today. If you haven't liked and subscribed to my channel, definitely do so now. But otherwise, let's get started. Alright, so one of the things I wanted to do when I went to Seattle, and it was kind of the whole reason that I went to Seattle, is I am a foodie and I love to buy food. I love to go to farmers markets, and Seattle has an amazing farmers market. It's called Pikes Place Market, and in Pikes Place Market, there is a fish market, and it is by far the best. You've probably seen videos out there, and I'll show you some of my videos from there where you get to toss a fish, and I actually got to do that, and it was so much fun. You watch them toss the fish, or you can actually do it yourself, which was awesome. But about the fish, so Pikes Place Marketplace is amazing. They have some super fresh fish. So I'll let my fish guy tell you exactly what the best way is to pick a fish.
Stand real close to the counter here. You're going to face your body this way. You're going to look at me out here. Hands up like this. And you're just going to grab it out of the air with your hand.
All right.
Hear me out. All right, listen.
Listen, Glisten.
Put on your glistening ears. TT for glisten. TT for glisten. Hey.
Oh!
You forgot to catch it. One crucial component.
I'm serious, I promise.
Get serious.
Okay.
D-Day! D-Day! Hands up like this. Don't hug it. I know it's Valentine's Day coming up, but you'll get your hugs later. DT Barisa! DT Barisa! Go! Step into my office. These are my fish.
Nice.
We're in Arizona.
Mesa.
Mesa! Right on. I grew up in Southern California, so
Nice.
I got family.
You're from Cali, though, right, Glisten?
Yeah, I'm from Cali. Where are you from?
Oceanside.
Oh, okay.
Went to high school in Dayton.
Covina.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Is anybody home right now?
No.
No? Okay, I'll ship it on Monday then.
Okay.
It'll be there Tuesday.
Okay. How late was it to get there? I'm flying tonight.
Oh.
Like at midnight
Why
tonight.
don't you just take it with you?
Okay. Well, can you pack it?
Yep.
For like a plate?
Fresh Alaskan king salmon.
Okay.
Look at this. So two things I'm looking for when I'm looking at fresh fish.
Okay.
I'm looking at the scales. You see the scales are nice and bright and shiny. If you rub the fish like that, there's no scales coming off.
Okay.
That means it's super fresh. And then I'm looking at the eyes. Eyes are super clear.
Okay.
That means it's been out of the water not very long. Once a fish is out of the water for a little while, the eyes start to get cloudy, you know?
Okay.
This is the best fish money can buy right here.
All right. So I will do that.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
And then you got
Awesome.
your fish ready to go. All right, here we go. Fresh King! Fresh King! Hey!
Oh.
That's my fish.
We're gonna fillet 1 pound pieces, pack for 24. 36 or 360. I gotta talk to you. Ladies and gentlemen, Joseph Bakery.
All right, so he picked an amazing Alaskan salmon for me, and then I was able to take it home. So when you go there, it's pretty awesome because you can get the fish and they'll pack it for you and ship it next day if you'd like. Or like me, I was just gonna come home the next day anyway, and so I was able to just have them pack it for me. So I'm gonna open this up and show you kind of what it looks like, how they packed it up. And I just took this on the plane with me, and it was like, it's TSA approved, so I did have to get stopped because they were like, is this fish? What is this? But other than that, it was pretty easy to take it through security. So they just packed it in a bag, but they can also pack it in a box too. Wrapped up in a bag, wrapped up in newspaper, super secure. Ugh. Open this up. It's like Christmas morning here. The fish. All right. So I don't know if you can see that. They put this huge ice pack in there, and it's still cold. It's still frozen. So I flew home last night, and I just popped this in the fridge when I got home and just left it packaged as is. But if I would have like been there another day, it would have still been fine, like just because it's still frozen. So that's awesome. So then you can see I've got my delicious Alaskan salmon, and they just cut it into 1 pound pieces. So each one of these pieces is 2 servings. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to teach you how to do a crispy skin salmon, and it is going to be amazing. We're going to make some smashed potatoes, we're going to make some roasted tomatoes, and we're going to make a huge full-on dish with this deliciously fresh salmon that I got from Pikes Place Market. So let's get started on this amazing salmon. All right, now the salmon is awesome because like what he told me is like you can just get it and you can cook it fresh when you first got it, and that's like the best, but you can also just freeze it. And so that's what I'm gonna do because this is a huge salmon. I'm not gonna make all of this just like for this meal and for this video, and it was pretty pricey. So I'm going to just use one of these pieces, and we're going to make a delicious meal with it. But I'm gonna freeze the rest of it. So I'm just gonna put it in Ziploc bags, put it in the freezer, and then when I'm ready to eat it, I just can take it out and cook it up that way. So let's get our delicious piece, and I'll show you how fresh looking this salmon is. All right, so check out that beautiful pink salmon. It's looking amazing. It's already filleted, so it's perfect. It does have bones in it, so I'm going to take the bones out. But I'm going to get this salmon ready. So key to making amazing, delicious salmon is first you're going to get your salmon to become room temperature. So I'm going to leave this out on my counter. You can put it in a Ziploc bag on your counter if you'd like. But I'm going to bring it to room temperature because you've got to. If you want a delicious salmon, that's the best way to do it, is to get it to that temperature, and then when you cook it, it just cooks more evenly and it doesn't dry out. So let's get the salmon to room temperature, and we'll get started on the rest of our ingredients while that's room temperaturing. All right, we're back. So we're going to do our sides first, and then we'll do our fish, because our fish is only going to take about 8 minutes. It's about 4 minutes per side. So we're going to do our sides first. All right, first thing we're going to do is we're going to make some amazing smashed potatoes with some pesto. And they are going to be so good. So what we're going to do is we're going to get a pot of water, and then we're going to season that water with just some salt. Salt it. And then we're going to put our potatoes in, and we're going to boil these potatoes for about 15 to 20 minutes, just until they soften. They're going to be like tender with the fork, and that's how you'll know they're done. And then we'll get to smashing once these are ready. All right, next thing you're going to do is you're just going to get a small packet of tomatoes. I just got the variety type. So we're going to use a cookie sheet with a piece of parchment, and we're gonna lie these tomatoes down. Now, you're gonna wanna leave this side free because you're going to put your potatoes in when we're ready to roast them and when they're all smashed and ready to go. But for now, we're just going to do our tomatoes, and we're gonna stick this in the oven at 350. I'm gonna sprinkle it with some salt and pepper, and we're just gonna let these tomatoes roast. All right, so our potatoes are done. You can stick a fork in them, they're tender. So now we're going to get our smashing on. So first thing you're gonna do is you're going to get some butter, and you're gonna melt that in. You can melt it in the microwave or however you like to melt it. And then, this is what's gonna flavor our potatoes and make them super delicious. You're gonna get some pesto. Now you can make it yourself, you can buy it at the store. I usually like to buy some of my pesto from Costco, but you don't have to if you're gonna make it yourself. It's also really delicious. You're just going to get a couple tablespoons of that pesto and mix it in with your melted butter. Then you're just gonna pour this over your potatoes. This is before you even smash them. Okay? Stir that up and get that pesto butter all over your potatoes. Alright, now we're going to remove our pan from our roasting pan from the oven that has our tomatoes on there. They're looking good. They're almost done. But we're gonna put our potatoes on here with our roasting. So you're just, with our tomatoes, sorry. And so you're just going to stick them on here, and don't put them super close together because we're gonna smash them in just a moment. And you're gonna have like a lot of that butter on the, that pesto butter on the bottom, and that's totally fine. We're gonna pour that on our potatoes once they're smashed. Right, this part is just super easy. So you're just gonna get your potatoes, organize them however you want on your pan, and make sure they're a little bit separated. And you're just going to get a measuring cup or a regular cup or whatever you've got handy, and you're just going to push down on those potatoes, and literally we're smashing them. So I just kind of press down lightly because they will kind of stick to your measuring cup if you don't. So don't push them down super flat, but there you have it. They look amazing. So now we're gonna season them with salt and pepper, and then you're just going to drizzle the rest of that pesto butter on top of your potatoes. They're smashed, so they don't have to be perfect or anything like that. And if you have some of the extra pesto butter, you can also put it on your tomatoes if you'd like. You don't have to though. So now what we're gonna do is we're just going to stick this in the oven again for like another 15 to 20 minutes. So about halfway through, you're going to check on them and turn them over. And then so that they just get brown and crispy on both sides, and they're gonna be perfect. And while this is in the oven, we'll get our fish going. Okay, so when making fish, you want to make sure that your pan is hot first before you stick in your olive oil. So right now our pan is smoking, so that's what we're looking for. If you're not experienced in making fish, especially if you're not experienced with this crispy skin, I do suggest that you use a non-stick pan. Because it'll just be easier for you. A lot of times people will use like the metal, like stainless steel pans, which I love to use. But if you're not experienced doing it, then you can get the skin stuck and it won't come out as good. So if you use a non-stick pan while you're starting out, that will be better. So what we're gonna do once our pan is smoking like it is now, I'm going to put in some olive oil. Just drizzle my olive oil. And then before I stick my fish in my pan, I'm going to season it with salt and pepper. So we're gonna stick this skin side down. And when you lay it in your pan, the first thing you're gonna do is you're going to press it down with your hand Or if you have like a fish turner that you're going to use, you can press it down with that too. And this is just gonna help it so that the skin doesn't curl up. And we're gonna do 4 minutes per side, depending on how you like your salmon. Most people will like their salmon medium. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna kind of get a good look at it, and I'll give you a close-up shot of what it looks like when I'm gonna flip it. But you want it to be kind of cooked about 3/4 of the way up, and you'll see in my video how it needs to be cooked before you flip it. Now when you're ready to flip, you're going to use a fish turner, because this is going to keep it from your fish from breaking apart. About another 4 minutes on this side, and then we're good. Alright, so it's been about 4 minutes. I'm going to flip it over because we're going to try to keep the skin as crispy as possible. We don't want to baste it with butter when we have the crispy skin on top. So put your butter in your pan, flip it over one more time, keep that skin down at the bottom, and we're gonna baste it with some butter and we're gonna put some garlic cloves in here as well. And actually put some dill. It smells so good, guys. All right, so just gonna baste that with the dill, the roasted garlic, the butter. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. And we're done. This has been cooking for about 8 minutes now. So I'm gonna take this off and we're gonna plate this up. All right, so we're ready to plate our food and it's looking delicious. It smells so good. So what we're going to do first is we are going to get some of this aioli. So I didn't show you how to make the aioli, but it's really self-explanatory. So the ingredients for this aioli are down in the description. And then this is just a lemon dill aioli. So what we're gonna do is we're just going to put a dollop on our plate and then use a spoon to swipe that. So you get a nice fancy little swipe of aioli on your plate. And you're going to get to your smashed potatoes and we're going to stick it on 1/2 of the plate. These are going to go under your fish. They're nice and crispy. They're looking great. Get a good look at that. Crispy smashed potatoes. Then we're going to get our fish with our crispy skin. And I'm going to stick it on top of those potatoes. And then last but not least, we have our tomatoes. And I'm just going to kind of lay them down next to that dollop of aioli. And then last but not least, you're going to get a little bit of lemon and you're going to squirt it on that salmon. It's important to always do that because it just makes the salmon taste better. Here we go. Alright, so let's give this a try. I want to try our salmon first. Now here's how you can tell that your salmon is good. Can you hear that? That's crispy skin right there. Nice and crispy. Oh yeah, that's perfectly cooked. Dip it in that aioli. That is so good. Try these potatoes, tomato. Oh yeah. So here's my thoughts. Was it worth it to fly all the way to Seattle so I can get some good fish from Pikes Place? Yes. It so was worth it. I had a great experience at Pikes Place Marketplace and throughout all of Seattle. So if you live in Seattle, you're lucky because you have a great city. And if you've never been, definitely go because it's a great experience. This meal is delicious, so I'm going to finish this up. If you want the recipe, head down into my description. I have the recipe for the aioli, the smashed potatoes, the fish, all of that. And also a link to the website for this Pikes Place Market, because if you don't want to go to Seattle, you can also order online. And then if you haven't subscribed to my channel, definitely do so, because you're going to want to see any future videos. Thank you so much, and I'm going to finish this meal. to pick a fish, la 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 la.